If a driver refuses to submit to a blood alcohol concentration test and does not plead guilty to a DWI, their license will be revoked for a minimum of fill in the blank. For a first-time conviction: A. 1 month, B. 90 days, C. 21 days, D. 6 months. B. 90 days. If a driver refuses to submit to a blood alcohol concentration (BAC) test and they do not plead guilty to a DWI, their license will be revoked for a minimum of 90 days for a first-time conviction. This will be in addition to other legal penalties. The penalties for a driver refusing to submit to a test determining BAC are the same as they would be if the driver were convicted of driving with a BAC above the legal limit. If you are driving near a motorcycle, you must A. Allow the motorcycle to use a complete lane. B. Drive on the shoulder beside the motorcycle. C. Allow the motorcycle to use only half of a lane. D. Pass using the same lane as the motorcycle. A. Allow the motorcycle to use a complete lane. A motorcycle is a full-size vehicle with the same privileges as any other vehicle on the roadway. You should allow a motorcyclist a full lane width. Although it may seem as though there is enough room in the traffic lane for a larger vehicle and a motorcycle, remember that the motorcycle needs room to maneuver safely. From top to bottom, the following is the proper order for traffic lights: A. Red, yellow, green. B. Red, green, yellow. C. Green, red, yellow. D. Green, yellow, red. A. Red, yellow, green. On a traffic signal arranged vertically, red is always on top and green on the bottom. When arranged horizontally, red is always on the left and green on the right. A red traffic signal light means that you must A. Stop at the stop line. B. Stop before entering any crosswalk. C. Stop before entering the intersection. D. All of the above. D. All of the above. A red traffic light means that you must stop before entering the intersection. You must at any stop line and before entering any crosswalk.
Want to ace your DMV test? Click on the link below and get your guaranteed cheat sheet.
This road sign means A. The road ahead turns sharply right, then left. B. The road ahead turns sharply left, then right. C. The road ahead curves to the left. D. Construction ahead. A. The road ahead turns sharply right, then left. This sign indicates that the road ahead will turn sharply to the right and then to the left. When passing other vehicles: A. Check your mirrors and blind spots. B. Honk your horn at least 3 times. C. Re-enter your lane within 10 feet of the passed vehicle. D. There is no need to signal. A. Check your mirrors and blind spots. Before passing another vehicle, check your mirrors and blind spots. Before changing lanes, activate the appropriate turn signal. Re-enter the lane when you can see the front of the passed vehicle in your rearview mirror. When you see an emergency vehicle with flashing lights, you must A. Slow down and keep moving in your lane. B. Keep driving in your lane. C. Pull to the right curb and stop. D. Stop exactly where you are. C. Pull to the right curb and stop. When you see an emergency vehicle using its lights or hear it using its siren, you must immediately pull over to the curb or side of the road and stop. If you begin to feel tired while driving, the best thing to do is to A. Get some coffee. B. Open your window. C. Stop driving. D. Turn on the radio. C. Stop driving. Being fatigued while driving is similar in danger to driving under the influence of alcohol. If you begin to feel tired while driving, the best thing to do is to stop driving. When approaching a traffic signal displaying a flashing yellow arrow, drivers A. should merge into a lane in the direction of the arrow. B. should come to a complete stop. C. may turn left after yielding to oncoming traffic and pedestrians. D. have the right of way and may expect oncoming traffic to stop for them. C. may turn left after yielding to oncoming traffic and pedestrians. A flashing yellow arrow indicates that left turns are allowed in the direction of the arrow. However, the oncoming traffic has a green light and you must yield to oncoming traffic and pedestrians. Roads freeze quickly when they are A. flat, B. curvy, C. in the sun, D. shaded. If you see this sign, you A. must not pass another vehicle. B. may pass a slow-moving vehicle if you can do so quickly. C. may pass if you know the road ahead. D. may pass, but only at night. A. must not pass another vehicle. Regulatory signs are white, rectangular signs with black markings. Drivers must obey the instructions posted on all regulatory signs. Where this sign is posted, it is prohibited for drivers to pass one another. Fog can greatly reduce the visibility of other vehicles, pedestrians, and traffic signals. When driving in fog, you should A. drive cautiously and reduce your speed. B. not use your high-beam headlights. C. use low-beam headlights to better illuminate the road and objects. D. all of the above. D. all of the above. Fog can greatly reduce your ability to see other vehicles, pedestrians, and traffic signals. When driving in fog, drive cautiously and at reduced speeds. Do not use high-beam headlights. Low beams better illuminate the road and objects ahead in foggy conditions. You must stop for a school bus. A. that is parked on the shoulder of the road with no one in it. B. when it approaches you, even if its lights are not flashing. C. if you are both driving on a two-lane highway and its red lights are flashing. D. whenever the driver waves at you. C. if you are both driving on a two-lane highway and its red lights are flashing. You must stop when approaching a school bus that is displaying flashing red lights while stopped to pick up or drop off children. On a two-lane road, traffic moving in both directions must stop and remain stopped as long as the red lights near the top of the bus are flashing and/or the stop arm on the left side of the bus is extended. You are waiting to turn left at a multi-lane intersection and opposing traffic is blocking your view. You should A. accelerate rapidly when the first lane you need to cross is clear. B. wait until you can see all the lanes you need to cross before going ahead with your turn. C. wait for an oncoming driver to wave you across the intersection. D. edge your car into each lane of opposing traffic as soon as it clears. B. Wait until you can see all the lanes you need to cross before going ahead with your turn. You should never start a left turn until you can see that all the lanes you need to cross are clear and that you can safely make the turn. You do not have to stop for a school bus that is stopped with its red lights flashing if it is on a private road. A. True. B. False. When driving at night, using only your parking lights is unlawful. A. True. B. False. A. True. It is unlawful to drive at night using only your parking lights. Drivers are required to use their headlights when driving in the dark. When the road is marked with a solid yellow line and a broken yellow line, with the broken line next to your lane, you may pass. A. Only in an emergency. B. If you are on an expressway. C. If traffic is clear. D. Only at an intersection. C. If traffic is clear. When there is a solid yellow line and a broken yellow line in the center of the road and the broken line is next to your lane, you may cross the lines to pass if there is no oncoming traffic. This sign is used to warn drivers: A. That the right lane ends and traffic should merge left. B. That the road curves ahead. C. About upcoming intersections. D. About road construction. A. That the right lane ends and traffic should merge left. This sign indicates that the right lane on a multi-lane roadway ends ahead. Traffic in the right lane must merge left. This sign means: A. Pedestrians ahead. B. End of construction zone. C. School crossing ahead. D. Flagger ahead. D. Flagger ahead. This sign indicates that there is a flagger ahead controlling traffic in a construction area. When a funeral procession is present, fill in the blank. Has the right of way. A. Another driver. B. A pedestrian. C. The funeral procession. D. A bicyclist. C. The funeral procession. Drivers, pedestrians, and bicyclists must yield the right of way to funeral processions. When the lead vehicle enters an intersection, the remaining vehicles in the funeral procession may follow through the intersection regardless of traffic control devices. It is unlawful for a car to try to share a lane with a motorcycle. A. True. B. False. A. True. Motorcycle operators have the right to use a complete traffic lane. Two motorcyclists may share a lane, but a car should never try to share a lane with a motorcycle. This sign means: A. No right turns. B. Right turns are permitted. C. Stop before turning right. D. Sharp curve ahead. A. No right turns. A regulatory sign displaying a red circle with a red slash through the middle indicates that a specific action is prohibited. Right turns are not permitted where this sign is posted. Another driver is trying to pass your car. You should: A. Pull off the road. B. Signal to the other driver when it is safe for them to pass. C. Check for oncoming traffic and adjust your speed to allow safe passing. D. Speed up. C. Check for oncoming traffic and adjust your speed to allow safe passing. Keep right when another driver begins to pass you on the left. Check for oncoming traffic and adjust your speed to let the passing vehicle move back into the right lane as easily as possible. Orange is the color of signs used to communicate with drivers in construction work zones. A. True. B. False. A. True. Most signs in work areas are orange and diamond-shaped, although some signs are rectangular. These signs and traffic control devices are commonly reflective to better attract your attention at night. When approaching a school bus stopped with its stop arm extended, drivers should: A. Come to a complete stop and wait to proceed. B. Honk their horn before passing the bus on its left. C. Continue driving when they think most kids are probably done exiting the bus. D. Pass the bus before its door opens. A. Come to a complete stop and wait to proceed. When approaching a stopped school bus that is using its stop signal, a driver is required to come to a complete stop. They should not proceed until the stop arm is withdrawn. To enter a freeway, A. Signal, yield to existing traffic, and enter at the same speed that traffic is moving. B. Signal and enter the freeway. Freeway traffic must yield. C. Drive slowly so you can check traffic. D. Always come to a complete stop first. A. Signal, yield to existing traffic, and enter at the same speed that traffic is moving. When merging into traffic, you should signal and enter at the same speed that traffic is moving. Always yield to other traffic when entering a roadway. When should you drive in a lane with a lane use control light showing a red X? A. If there is no visible oncoming traffic. B. If you are passing the car in front of you. C. Never. D. Between sunset and sunrise. C. Never. Lane use control signals are used when the direction of the flow of traffic in a specific lane changes throughout the day. They are used to show which lanes of traffic are open and closed, as well as to show if toll booths are open or closed. Never drive in a lane marked with a red X. Yellow-green signs indicate: A. School zones. B. Hospitals. C. Speed limits. D. Railroad crossings. A. School zones. Fluorescent yellow-green is used as the background color for pedestrian, bicycle, and school warning signs. Use extra caution when driving around these signs. Unless otherwise posted, the speed limit in an alley is: A. 35 miles per hour. B. 25 miles per hour. C. 15 miles per hour. D. 10 miles per hour. D. 10 miles per hour. When driving in an alley, the speed limit is 10 miles per hour. If a different speed limit is posted, follow the posted speed limit. A stop sign is shaped like a N. A. Rectangle. B. Square. C. Circle. D. Octagon. D. Octagon. An octagonal shape is used only for stop signs. All 8-sided signs tell drivers to come to a complete stop before proceeding. This road sign means: A. Keep right. B. Keep left. C. Pass with caution. D. No passing. A. Keep right. This sign indicates that a divided highway begins ahead. The road splits into two one-way roadways separated by a median or divider. You must keep to the right. You are driving when your power steering stops working. You should A. Honk your horn and turn off the ignition. B. Turn on your hazard lights and brace yourself. C. Work hard to steer, reduce your speed, drive to a safe area, and stop. D. Slam on your brakes. C. Work hard to steer, reduce your speed, drive to a safe area, and stop. If your power steering stops working, additional effort will be required to maintain steering control. Reduce your speed and pull off the roadway to stop in a safe area. When driving on major highways. A. Stay alert. B. Keep your eyes moving. C. Be ready to react to road hazards. D. All of the above. D. All of the above. It is important to stay alert on highways and be ready to react to unexpected hazards. To avoid highway hypnosis, you should avoid looking at any one thing for more than a few seconds. Motorists should maintain a safe operating distance when driving near a cyclist. A. True. B. False. A. True. Drivers must be especially careful when driving near a cyclist and should maintain a safe operating distance between their vehicle and the cyclist. Diamond symbols on pavement markings and signs indicate A. School zones. B. Carpool lanes. C. Construction areas. D. Hospitals. B. Carpool lanes. Carpool lanes are restricted to vehicles with 2 or more occupants. They are marked by a diamond symbol or with carpool only signs. They are usually located on the far left side of a freeway and are separated from other traffic lanes by combinations of white or yellow lines. If you drink alcohol socially, what helps ensure safe driving? A. Drink coffee before driving. B. Ride home with a friend who has not been drinking. C. Take a cold shower before driving. D. Stop drinking 1/2 hour before driving. B. Ride home with a friend who has not been drinking. One strategy to avoid driving while impaired or intoxicated is to arrange for a ride home with a friend who does not drink. Drinking coffee or taking a cold shower cannot reduce your blood alcohol content or reduce the effects of alcohol. On average, it takes about an hour for the body to eliminate the alcohol from a single drink. Drive below the posted speed limit when A. Anything makes conditions less than perfect. B. You see a police car. C. Entering a highway where there are other cars. D. You are on a 4-lane road. Cell phones can be a serious source of driver distractions. A. True. B. False. A. True. When on the road, drivers should not use cell phones, computers, or other distracting devices, except to report a crash or emergency. Your full attention should be devoted to driving. This sign means A. Curves ahead. B. Divided highway starts. C. Divided highway ends. D. Bumps in the road. C. Divided highway ends. This sign warns drivers that the divided highway ends ahead. You are driving on a highway divided by two solid yellow lines. You may A. Cross these lines only to make a left turn into or from an alley, private road, or driveway. B. Cross these lines to pass other vehicles, but only if there is no oncoming traffic. C. Cross these lines under no circumstances. D. Cross these lines only to make a U-turn. A. Cross these lines only to make a left turn into or from an alley, private road, or driveway. Double solid yellow lines are used to mark roadways where passing is prohibited from both directions. You may cross these lines only to make a left turn into or from an alley, private road, or driveway.